Here are 10 rappers who've gone broke. Wait until you hear how T-Pain blew through $40 million before realizing he was practically out of cash. 10. MC Hammer. MC Hammer had one of the biggest rap hits of the early 90s with You Can't Touch This. At one point, he was estimated to be worth over $30 million. That's a massive amount of money by any standard. But by 1996, he famously filed for bankruptcy. So what exactly happened? Well, let's start with his crazy entourage. Hammer supposedly had 200 people on payroll. That's 200 salaries he was responsible for every single month. On top of that, there was the giant mansion he built, which reportedly cost him around $30 million. And let's not forget all the lavish gifts and cars he was known to hand out. When you're burning through close to $500,000 a month, even $30 million won't last forever. Hammer has since bounced back in various ways, including working on tech ventures and even becoming an ordained minister. But he'll always remain the classic example of a gigantic windfall that got away. 9. Ja Rule. Ja Rule hit the hip-hop scene in the late 90s and early 2000s with chart toppers like Always on Time and Livin' It Up. He sold millions of albums, appeared in movies, and lived the high life, at least on the surface. So where did it all go wrong? A big blow came when Ja Rule was convicted of failing to pay taxes on over $3 million of income. He served time in prison for tax evasion and also had major legal fees. Then there was the infamous Fyre Festival debacle in 2017. He co-founded the festival that turned into a catastrophic fraud case. While Ja Rule wasn't charged criminally in the fiasco, the lawsuits and reputation damage certainly didn't help his financial standing. He's since tried to rebuild through new music and entrepreneurial ventures, but Ja Rule stands as a cautionary tale of how legal troubles and bad business partners can derail even the hottest career. 8. Young Buck. Young Buck was once riding high with G-Unit, racking up hits and touring around the world. But unlike most salaried workers, musicians get paid without taxes automatically. Taken out. If you forget to pay, the IRS will eventually come knocking, and that's exactly what happened to Young Buck. His tax debts piled up, and in 2012, IRS agents raided his home and took everything of value, right down to his furniture and even his refrigerator with the food inside. There was talk of a possible miscommunication between his management and legal teams about who was supposed to handle taxes. In the end, Young Buck filed for bankruptcy to try and get back on track. When your music career slows down, those back taxes become harder to pay off. Young Buck learned the hard way that Uncle Sam isn't going to wait while you hustle to make your next hit. 7. Lil Kim. Before Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, Lil Kim was ruling the charts. She was tight with the Notorious B.I.G. and featured on hits with Jay-Z. But despite a massive influence on hip-hop, she ran into her fair share of financial problems. Legal battles and a prison stint in 2005 for perjury took a serious toll on her finances, and by 2018, Lil Kim filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy to manage around $4 million of debt, though that filing was eventually dismissed. Much of that money was owed in back taxes, plus she was also about $600,000 behind on her mortgage at one point. Lil Kim claimed she was making roughly $18,000 a month but had a laundry list of expenses like staff, travel, and fancy clothes. Sometimes you gotta wonder how necessary some of those bills really are. 6. 50 Cent. 50 Cent once had that unstoppable run in hip-hop, propelled by hits like Into Club and a highly publicized vitamin water deal that reportedly netted him tens of millions. Yet in 2015, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But was 50 truly broke, or was he just protecting his assets? He'd lost a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and his move to file for bankruptcy protection was mostly strategic. However, the court documents did reveal that he wasn't nearly as liquid as people believed. In classic 50 Cent style, he made jokes about it on social media, even poking fun at his supposed lack of cash by posing with piles of money. The situation showed that just because someone has a huge net worth on paper doesn't mean they have access to unlimited stacks of actual cash. 5. Bow Wow. Is it really a shock that Bow Wow, formerly Lil Bow Wow, finds himself on this list? You'd think that starting your music career at age 13 might give you a financial advantage, but Bow Wow is a lesson in how quickly cash can vanish. During a 2012 child custody case, Bow Wow told the court he was making only $4,000 a month and had $1,500 in his checking account. He was ordered to pay $3,000 a month in child support. Things got more embarrassing a few years later when he posted a photo of a private jet to Instagram, implying it was his ride, only for someone on the same commercial flight to snap a pic of him in economy class. Bow Wow has claimed he's not broke and that he was exaggerating his financial struggles. However, for many fans, that Instagram fiasco cemented the image of a guy struggling to keep up appearances. 4. Xzibit. Xzibit is best remembered by some folks these days as the host of MTV's Pimp My Ride, rather than for his rap career, which actually included platinum and gold albums. But once the show ended, so did a big chunk of his income. In 2007, Xzibit made about $500,000 from Pimp My Ride, but by 2008 that number reportedly dropped to around $67,000. Imagine losing 85% of your yearly income overnight. Unfortunately, he didn't adjust his lifestyle quickly enough. By 2009, he owed nearly $1 million to the IRS and wound up filing for bankruptcy twice. He also faced foreclosure on his 7,650 square foot mansion, and at one point he didn't even own a car. Ironic, given that he used to pimp other people's rides for a living. Whether it's from music or TV, income in entertainment can be unpredictable, and once it dries up, you can't keep balling out. 3. T-Pain. T-Pain revolutionized hip-hop and R&B with auto-tune and stacked up millions in the process, only to watch it all go away. And we're talking serious money here. He's gone on record saying he blew through $40 million. How did he manage that? He put trust in the wrong people, made impulsive purchases, and just lived way beyond his means. Everything from buying multiple homes to collecting an outrageous fleet of cars drained his bank accounts. T-Pain admitted he ended up having to borrow money to take care of his family at one point. The good news? He's rebounded. Now he's streaming on Twitch, producing new music, and generally being open about his mistakes. T-Pain's story is a powerful lesson about how fame and money can vanish if you don't manage them wisely. 2. Tyga. Tyga is known for hits like Rack City as well as high-profile relationships, especially with Kylie Jenner. But with that fame has come a string of headlines about unpaid rents, repossessed luxury vehicles, and lawsuits. He's reportedly been sued by multiple landlords for back rent on extravagant mansions and commercial spaces he leased. There was also drama over Ferrari and Maybach repossessions. While Tyga hasn't officially declared bankruptcy, these repeated court battles paint a picture of someone who's constantly juggling debts. Despite continuing to drop new music, Tyga's financial reputation hasn't exactly been stellar. And hey, if you've got a record of skipping out on rent, don't be surprised when people assume your finances are rocky. 1. Vanilla Ice. Before Eminem broke through, Vanilla Ice was arguably the biggest white rapper on the planet with Ice Ice Baby in the early 90s. He skyrocketed to fame, which made him millions in a short span of time. But just as quickly, he fell off the radar. He made questionable business decisions and famously spent much of his fortune during his heyday. His music career fizzled almost as fast as it took off, and the money dried up. Vanilla Ice, real name Rob Van Winkle, pivoted into reality TV and home renovation shows, which helped him stabilize over time. However, he's still dogged by the "went broke" label. He's a clear example that a sudden burst of fame rarely lasts forever. If you don't find a way to evolve your brand or manage your money carefully, you can end up a cautionary tale, no matter how iconic your hit single was.